those two guys from work who won't shut up about football, but are pretty damn entertaining? Well, they decided to buy a couple microphones. And with that, we welcome you to the CheesyCorn Sports podcast, where Justin Adams and Martin Chaney wrangle over everything college football and NFL. Bold predictions, hot takes, and live game reactions. This is CheesyCorn Sports.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of OnlyFantasy presented by CheesyCorn Sports. And I am joined here this morning, as always, well, sometimes always, by my friend Cheese. Cheese, how we doing, sir?
I'm good. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. Off to a great start on the fantasy week as well. We got another European snooze fest going on right now between the Colts and the Patriots. We had a primetime snooze fest between the Panthers and the Bears on Thursday, and we're going to have another snooze fest between the Jets and the Raiders on Sunday night. I can't wait.
Where Justin Adams.
Sorry, our stream just played really loud in my ears, and that was excruciating painful.
All good.
Last second. Wow, that really rattled my brain there for a second. Hopefully I couldn't hear that on y'all's end. But, well, like I said, welcome in Sunday. We have a terrible game going in Europe, and we're trying to grow the game, so that's always good. I'm sure the NFL really appreciates the fact that they're putting on a show over there for the European fans. So that way they'll ensure they'll never buy another ticket again. And, I mean, what were they thinking scheduling that game anyways?
Well, they can't put any actual contenders overseas. They can't,
Yeah, but
I mean, they did last week, and it was a snooze fest too. So,
who would you say is the most boring team in the league? I'd say it's New England.
They would be one of the teams that comes to mind for sure.
They might be the only team where I haven't watched a single one of their games this year. I may have caught part of it on. I'm sure they were on Prime. I think they were on the prime time or either Thursday or Sunday night.
Yeah,
but outside of that, I have not watched a single Patriots game, nor have a desire to, because it's the most boring brand of football out. So
yeah, I'm trying to think here. I think the Giants are also up there as far as boring to watch type thing. The Packers have been an absolute fucking snooze fest to watch this year too, just because of all the miscues and the growth and stuff like that. Stuff we talked about last week. But
I think having fantasy players in Green Bay has helped me at least be interested in the game somewhat. But that's really the only reason. I have I have Ramondre in one league, but that was the league where I drafted. Remember, I was I never liked to draft these running backs, and I drafted him and Najee, and I regret it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I got Ramondre, but I still refuse to root for the Patriots, even though. All right, well. Hope everybody had a great week. Into the veterans out there, happy Veterans Day and Veterans Day weekend. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of our former veteran friends that hop in here with us every week, too, to enjoy the content. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the matchups. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, kicking off. Browns at Ravens. All right, what you got here? As far as the game goes, the fantasy aspect, whatever. Take it away.
Yeah, I think this game is, from a real football perspective, I'm going to start there. This is going to be one of the better games of the week, or at least one of the more hyped up, more heavy implications of the week. The Browns defense is terrific, but the Ravens are playing the Ravens as a whole are playing as if they are gearing up for a Super Bowl run.
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson is playing at an MVP level. I think he is definitely in the conversation. And the emergence of Zay Flowers straight off from week 1 all the way through now. And the run game, I mean, they are literally running a 3-headed monster out of the backfield with a bunch of dudes that are just nobody would have picked them at all this year, right? Outside of a maybe fringe handcuff in fantasy. And so they don't outside of Lamar and Mark Andrews, they really don't have that much top star power on offense. And they're doing their thing. And I'm not I'm not fading them at all. I think the Ravens win this one by a touchdown. I think the Browns defense is going to keep it close, but the Browns offense is just not up to the caliber that the Ravens are. And so the Ravens take this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The Ravens are just playing out of their minds right now. Lamar Jackson is on another level. It just seems like the Ravens are rolling too much right now, and the Browns are far too inconsistent. I know, like Deshaun and Amari Cooper, they had a connection last week, a big game for Amari, but that was inflated by that touchdown and stuff like that. So they're really offensively, there's not really much there to write home about on the offensive side. Neither is there much consistency from that offensive side of the ball. Yeah. Ravens playing with their tails on fire. I just don't know what the Browns' identity is at this point. I just think the Ravens are just too good. That not only are they too good on talent-wise, regardless, the fact that they're playing as well as they are. Yeah, this one's it's not gonna go well for the Browns. I think the Browns defensively, they'll keep it within, a certain threshold. I don't think it'll get beyond 17 or anything like that, but
right.
I would avoid this one, the spread wise though, just because of the Browns defense may be able to keep it close enough and or do a backdoor cover. I just don't like the 7-point spread. That's all.
Sure.
Outside of that, yeah, you're taking, you're starting usual suspects here from Baltimore and the Browns. I'm probably sitting Amari Cooper though, who is my wide receiver sit of the week, by the way. So just a little nugget there is my start of the week last week. So I'll put him as my sit of the week this week because it's going to be tough sledding out there for them. I would not start Deshaun I wouldn't start Deshaun anyways, but neither would I start any of their pass catching receivers. Oh, let's go, baby.
My QB sit of the week is
Perfect.
Deshaun Watson. And then just a piggyback on this one, right?
Yep.
David Njoku, tight end sit of the week as well. David Njoku has been playing out of his mind. I have him in a league. He's been allowing me, who's out of the playoffs already, it's a dynasty, not at championship caliber. I've been playing spoiler to a couple different teams these past few weeks. So,
yep.
But let's get into some questions.
Of course, it worked out perfectly. Glad we agreed on not starting any of the Browns.
Yeah.
All right. So Laporta. All right. So start this with Laporta, Kincaid, Josh Jacobs. Start 2. I'm probably going Laporta, Jacobs.
What is Dawson Knox's
status?
Yeah. Oh, he's on IR.
Yeah, he's on IR.
I don't know why I didn't know that. I'm probably rolling Josh Jacobs and Kincaid.
You going Kincaid?
Yeah, I just think that they have established him as a healthy target. He's athletic once he gets the ball in his hands as well.
Yep.
And I think that he can do a lot more in the PPR realm as far as in comparison to Sam Laporta. And then I have Josh Jacobs in my top 10 running backs for the week. So that was kind of a home run, no brainer for me.
Yep. Jacobs for sure.
Yeah. So.
And I'm not even a big Jacobs guy, but
yeah, same.
Yeah. I'm going Jacobs Laporta, but just only reasons because I Kincaid, that ball in that offense really gets spread out. So it's just one of those things. It's just like, how involved is he going to be this week? I don't know. And there's something about Laporta I like. He's just that, and just the offense he's in. Of course, it's hard not to love the offense he's in. But
they both have great matchups. Laporta,
and I would put them. So. Yeah, when I'm talking about putting them in rankings, they're probably neck and neck. So yeah, I don't think you're wrong either way with Laporta, Kincaid, but Chaney thinks Kincaid. I think Laporta, but Jacobs is a 100% lock for sure.
Yep.
And thanks for the question, Matt. Ridley or Hollywood Brown? I'm going Ridley this week. I like Ridley this week.
Yeah. Despite all of the issues that Arthur Smith is bestowing upon his own team, like it's all user inflicted, right? It's user error, mismanagement of his people. The Atlanta pass defense is still, they're not they're not a walk all over, but they're not like elite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So Kyler Murray comes back this week. It's going to be interesting to see like how he looks, first week out. I think that there's definitely worse teams to come back against for sure. And in my head, logically thinking here, right, if Josh Dobbs can keep games competitive with this Cardinals roster, then with the amount of money that they're paying Kyler, he should be able to win this game. I just don't fully trust it, and I think Calvin Ridley is due for a big game.
Yeah,
so I'm going Calvin Ridley.
I'm not 100% sure how they're going to use Kyler.
Yeah.
And because Kyler operates best when the play breaks down. He's using his legs to escape the pocket, not when the play is happening in front of him and he's standing in the pocket, right? So how much of a leash is he going to have? Is he going to be running around like his normal self? How are they going to set the offense up to where it's a little bit more simplistic? That remains to be seen. So I think regardless, I would have went with Ridley, but this will be a real tell for us going forward how we can rank Hollywood Brown moving forward. So that's something to definitely keep an eye on, is just how they use Kyler. And also, if Kyler is going to be startable for the rest of the season, it's going to be very, very important to see just kind of how he looks and how they use him today. Because who knows? Even when he's healthy, I don't know. Me, I've never been a Kyler guy, regardless.
I will say this.
Oh, God.
I'm calling my shot here. I'm going to call my shot with Kyler Murray as my QB start of the week. Because I don't want to list one of the same top 10 people that, is kind of brought up every single week. I want to call my shot.
QB start, it's hard.
Yeah. Because it's one thing, right? If you have a person who's already a QB1, right, and you put him in here as your start of the week, and then they go for 2025, that's not really something that I can really run a victory lap around. You know what I mean? Because that's what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
But if I take this guy coming off of injury, or like Sam Howell is always a great one, to really roll out as your start of the week, right?
Yep.
And
Samuel Howell.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the type of guys that, like, if they go for 18 to 20 plus, like, those are the dudes that I absolutely love to put in the start of the week spot.
Yep.
And then I can really
Samuel Howell.
Yeah, I can really feel myself as far as the genius call, so to speak.
Genius. We're going with genius. We're 20 minutes in the show and you're already a genius.
Well, no, I said if he goes for 20 plus. Talk to me in 10 hours.
You pick Kyler Murray and then say genius in the same sentence.
Yes, sir.
You know how I feel about that guy. You know how I feel about Kyler.
Of course.
I really like him. No, I'm just playing. I hate him. Packers and Steelers. Oh, well, shit. I might as well let you take this one away too, since you're the resident Packers expert.
So, yeah.
Green Bay, sir. Please.
I'm glad we just got done calling me a genius, all of us unanimously on the show, because I would like to say that I called the perfect scheme for the Packers to win last week, and it worked. Run with Jones and Dillon on first and second down, get those third and shorts, allow Jordan Love to actually have a little bit of flexibility on what to do on third down, and good things will happen. Matt LaFleur is one of the coaches that, he'll say something in media and he actually means it. He said he was going to unleash Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones saw a season high in touches. Aaron Jones got a touchdown. It was great.
I know it really was, because I have been fantasy and I've been waiting for that.
Now, I like to rip on Joe Barry, the defense coordinator for Green Bay, a lot, but I'm going to say this with a grain of salt right now, right? Green Bay over the past month is allowing 15.5 points per game. Best in the NFL. A lot of it is being kind of overshadowed by the stagnant offense. But also,
you think
they have had a very easy schedule to do so with as well. For instance, they played Brett Ripien of the Rams last week, right? And they only allowed 3 points. Now,
Did they only allow 3 points, or did Ripien only throw for 3 points?
Right, exactly.
You know,
I
because
will say this.
I think he could be out there throwing against like one of those little dummies out there and probably still only throw for 80 yards and 3 points.
Absolutely. Now, if Green Bay last week played to the potential in like the little flashes that I see, they should have won that game fucking 42-3. It should have been a college football score at that point. But they didn't, because there was still a lot of the same inconsistencies.
Because they're not
penalties, drops, inaccuracies by Jordan Love, like little things that just
sounds like skill issue. Like, our quarterback wasn't throwing on target. We couldn't block these guys, but had we done that, we would have won 15-0.
The biggest thing is the penalties. That shit kills me. We had like 8 penalties in the first half,
especially pre-snap penalties.
And that's the majority of them, right?
Exactly.
They're illegal formations. They are, false starts, ineligible man downfield, not a pre-snap penalty, but still a mental type
and it's still one of those that, like, it's a penalty, like, because of the play design in a way still. And it's just, it's completely preventable, because even those are like your offensive lineman drifts like a yard too far. And like, it doesn't change the outcome of the play at all, but still.
So I'm telling you, get those things geared up, because I cannot tell you how many big plays or first downs I have seen this year called back due to one of those types of penalties, and it kills me.
Yeah.
Every single time I see it. Get those cleaned up, and that, I mean, it's going to come with experience. It's going to come with coaching, discipline, and all that stuff, and that just, it needs to keep progressing. And it's a rough year, but I'm still a believer. I still see the flashes. It's rough right now. It's rough when you're going through it. You know what I mean?
So what's the consensus on Jordan Love then in Packer Nation, or in the Packers ownership group that you're a part of?
Do you want my opinion on Jordan Love, or do you want the actual consensus of all the 70-year-olds in that group?
Both. Okay, 7-year-olds. Let's hear them both.
I think Jordan Love can develop. I see a lot of parallels between a lot of, solid NFL starters and at the beginning of their careers and his. You know what I mean?
Love. Mr. Love.
I think the biggest issue for Jordan Love is the fact that he's not a rookie, right? Even though like his game experience is kind of like, showing as a rookie.
Yeah.
But he's been in the league for 4 years. So he knows the scheme and he knows the playbook, but there's a lot of times where that lack of previous game experience definitely shows.
Is it game experience or skill?
It's game experience for me. Okay. It's definitely game experience.
I have to ask a hard question there.
Honestly, that wasn't even a hard question for me to answer. It's definitely the game experience. Now, 70-year-olds are still crying over moving on from the Mississippi welfare bandit himself, Brett Favre. And
I was testing that out to see if it worked. I barely turned it up. I don't know why it was so loud.
Yeah, but all of the old heads in the Green Bay Cheesehead fandom are they never really wanted to give Jordan Love a chance, so they're still really salty about that. So they split hairs every single week. They're still calling for Sean Clifford to start the fucking game, and
you're calling them they. You've completely separated yourself from the rest.
I have on record. I don't know if it's on this show or not, but previously I've said that I cannot stand the Green Bay fandom like 90% of the time. Yeah. They are very delusional. They think that Jordy Nelson is a top 10 NFL player or like receiver of all time. He's not. Great Packer. Love Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
He's a Packer Hall of Famer. He's not an NFL Hall of Famer. You know what I mean?
Wes Welker and the other white guys.
Exactly.
Really good because of the quarterback of the team.
He's a top 10 white wide receiver in the NFL.
Well, then, yeah. I mean, there you go.
Right behind Steve Largent.
Yeah. But when we get, we're not We're not putting him up there with your
but when you start to bring in Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, the distance is a little wider. So, but yeah,
Jordy can hang. Jordy can hang.
Yeah, I love Jordy Nelson, but
Packers Steelers, to me, this is a game that I want no part of because, well, actually, a little part of it. Because hold on, boom, a running back I hate, but yet is my start of the week this week. I just like it. I like the matchup. Najee versus the Packers. Sorry, Chaney, but I had to do it to you. I think Najee's just going to get a ton of work in this game, especially if they can get a lead and start trying to ice it. I just think Najee gets a lot of work this week. I like the matchup for him. I just think for 1 week, I can pick Najee Harris, and this is the week. So,
yeah, I think it's not a bad call. I think Green Bay and Pittsburgh are very similar in terms of like roster construction.
Yeah.
And with that, both should be a little more reliant on their running backs, which is something that they haven't been. Green Bay's issue has been the injury part, and Pittsburgh's issue has been the inefficiency part. But yeah, like Packers defense, as far as, I talked about the points per game and stuff like that, but there is that caveat still of who they played. And I don't think Pittsburgh is a tough matchup, but at the same time, like any NFL matchup against this Green Bay roster is a tough matchup.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think they're I just think the Packers and Steelers are very close as far as kind of, well, like you said, I just think they're close as far as just how they're playing, the inconsistencies and all that. So I don't know. I just think this has the makings for just kind of one of those close knockdown, drag out games. And I do think we see a lot of points from running backs in this game, both sides.
For sure.
All right, let's move up to the 49ers at the Jaguars. So Jaguars, I have Christian Kirk as my starter of the week. Just to preface this, Christian Kirk versus them. I like Lawrence this week. Don't ask me why, but I really like Christian Kirk this week. There's just something in my gut. I know I picked Ridley earlier, and I almost picked him as my start of the week, but I just think Christian Kirk has a good game here. I think he's going to get peppered with targets. I think the focus might be on Ridley. So, yeah, I just think Christian Kirk has a 20-plus performance here, surprisingly. And I think Trevor Lawrence has a pretty solid game as well. But what is your take on – let me pull the actual game matchup back up. The 49ers Jags. Of course, you're starting CMC. Brock Purdy, I really like this week. I really like Brock Purdy this week.
Yeah.
As most do. This is a good matchup for him. So
yes. I actually have Brock Purdy in my top 10 quarterbacks this week. I have him at number 10.
I have him.
I think Brock Purdy and this offense definitely rebound.
I'm at 4.
Damn, that's high. Okay. Nope. I'm not even going to hate on it. I think once you get into that top 10 stuff, you're really starting to like split hairs based on like matchups and
I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to look like at matchups and just like it's not going to go the normal what everybody's saying is the 1 through 10, right? So just a lot of it is gut and just looking at the matchups and the numbers, stuff like that. But I like to go with my gut a lot because it doesn't steer me wrong a ton.
Yep. I think the 49ers bounce back this week. I know they've been kind of struggling these past few weeks, but you got Chase Young in that defense now. A couple weeks into it now, he's learning the scheme and stuff like that.
Yep.
And obviously you have McCaffrey. Remember just a couple weeks ago, McCaffrey was dealing with that oblique. It wasn't even a strain; it was actually a slight tear.
Yep.
So the fact that he was dealing with that and still putting up numbers is great.
Yeah.
And so I think Jags are no slouch at all. But I still think that the 49ers rebound and show why a lot of people had them as their Super Bowl picks.
Yep. All right. Well, we got a question here.
Let's do it.
Thanks for the question, Nathan. It says, morning, start Deontay Johnson, Irwin, or Jackson Smith and Jigba in a standard league. One of those rare standard leagues. I think I'm going Deontay Johnson. And probably I probably would go Deontay and JSN. Let's say you there.
Is it a start 1 or start 2?
I think it's just he specified just start, and so I guess it's one of the 3.
Okay. Well, I just got a notification came across my phone. Jair Alexander is inactive today, so I'm going Deontay Johnson.
Oh wait, no, I'm the one who said 2. I'm an idiot. So yeah, start Deontay Johnson then. In that opinion, I mean,
yeah, I'm going Deontay Johnson on that.
I was still thinking of the last question, which was start 2, but yeah, Deontay Johnson for sure.
Sure.
All right, thanks for the question. Also, please pick one to start. Mixon, Breece Hall, Cook, standard league. I'm already planning on starting Monty and Eckler. So if it's standard, I'm gonna go Breece and Mixon. Only thing that scares me about Cook is his usage right now. But I do think, Cook is one of those guys. He's very efficient, right? So Cook could honestly just, bust some runs, get a couple touchdowns, and have a great week. The hard thing to predict is the touchdowns, and the hard thing to predict is the usage in this offense. Mixon might. T. Higgins is out, and Jamar Chase is banged up. So Mixon might get a lot of work today. So that's why I'm going Mixon and Breece.
So I know Nathan, I know you're saying that you're already planning on starting Monty.
I'm sorry. I'm starting Mixon. And then Breece would be second. Like it goes Mixon, Breece, Cook.
So I know you said you're planning on starting Monty. I would like to, start a petition to sit
Breece
Monty and start Mixon and Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, yeah, I agree.
Breece, out of all 5 of those running backs, is my favorite running back.
Yeah, this week. 100%. Yeah, just the only reason I say Mixon is because of the receiver stuff. But go on, sir.
Sure. I have Breece Hall as my RB2 this week against the Raiders. Terrible defense. Still kind of working on that. The head coaching change, they're still trying to find themselves. Like they won last week, 1 because the Giants are absolute terrible, and 2 because they won through, I believe they won through sheer hatred towards Josh McDaniels. And so I firmly believe that Jahmyr Gibbs has played well enough to eat into David Montgomery's role. So don't fully expect the same exact role that David Montgomery had of the 25 touches before he got hurt.
Yeah.
I also think, I don't think this is also the second or third time that Montgomery has gotten hurt so far this year and has missed time because of it. And so, if I'm the head coach, I'm not, but if I was, I'm looking at that saying, okay, maybe this workload is a little too much, putting a little too much wear and tear on one running back when we have another running back who has proven that he can perform just as good, if not better. So Breece Hall, Joe Mixon.
Well,
if I were to rank those 5, sorry if you hear my cat in the back. Breece Hall, Eckler, Mixon, all like up in that top 10 area, and then Monty and James Cook.
Okay. Yep.
That's what I'm rolling with.
Cool. And the funny thing is too, Breece is my RB2. However, I slid Mixon up because of the news on Jamar Chase that he is 50-50. So I just think Mixon's going to get a lot of usage. But like you said, they're right there. Mixon was 6 before the injury news to him. So yeah, it's splitting hairs with those 2 this week, just based on. But if both teams were healthy, it's Breece Hall by a landslide. But yeah, definitely Breece Hall for Monty. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Appreciate the question, Nathan. Appreciate the question, Matt. If y'all do have any more questions, anybody, feel free to drop them in here. We'll answer them as we go. All right, 49ers Jaguars. Did we fully go over this? Or I don't think so. Did you? I don't think you went over it. So what's your take on the Niners Jags?
I mean, we talked a little bit about it. Talked about, I think this is a good bounce back week for the Niners.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
As far as like betting spreads go, I'm always a little hesitant to take a road favorite.
Yeah.
Especially when the home team is not like a bad team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like if this was like the Cardinals, it'd be different. But it's not. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are leading the division, the AFC South.
They are. We're
so
they're 6-2. They're actually one of the better teams. One of their losses was to us, though. Just want to throw it out there.
Yeah. I'm watching our editor and Super Duval fan, Corey, go nuts down on the bottom. So,
hey, Corey,
yeah.
just don't forget, y'all lost like 12 of the last 13 to us. So
those divisional games are every single statistical trend flies out the window when it comes to a divisional match.
No, it's specifically us against Jacksonville, though, and I don't know what it is. Like, even when they were like significantly better than us, but like us against like the Colts, like we can't. They're like our kryptonite for some reason. Like T.Y. Hilton was the boogeyman to the Texans for so many years.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's go to Saints and Vikings. Leave a Duval in the chat for Corey.
Yeah. Give it old Duval, multiple U's in the chat, of course.
And also, if you are on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, we are streaming to all three. All of y'all can leave comments, and they will pop right here into. Okay, well, hang on. Let's whoa, dude, relax.
I think they still need to be investigated for paying for those hotel rooms.
You know what? Let's get another Texans fan in here to help me out. What's up, Lee? He's got my back. Right. Just when I needed another Texans fan to step in, he pops in. That's right, Lee. Appreciate you coming in here and backing me up against this damn Jaguars fan. Hold on, let's bring him in. No, I'm just playing. I just pop him up on the screen, start grilling him. All right. Saints and Vikings. I want to take this opportunity to pull this shit out right here. Boom. QB start of the week. Josh Dobbs versus no. Okay. Josh Dobbs, my start of the week, because he is, I mean, how can you not root for the guy, first off? But second off, New Orleans is a mess. And what Josh Dobbs was doing with the Cardinals, kind of putting up some decent weeks, now he has weapons to throw to. So it is a little bit of a tough matchup, I will say. But however, I think Josh Dobbs, with another week under his belt with these weapons, I am very interested to see what he can do, and I think he's going to have a really, really good week. And then on the New Orleans side, we have Olave, Carr, that whole mess. Olave's just kind of, I don't know who's the issue. Is it Carr? It's probably Carr.
It's probably Carr.
Let's be honest. Saints, Alvin Kamara. The Alvin Kamara thing is weird because Taysom Hill's resurgence, rather, especially on the goal line, is taking opportunities away from Kamara on the goal line too. So that's something that's really kind of hurting Kamara's stock a little bit too. He's taking those opportunities away. So interesting fantasy side for the Saints. It's just hard to really know what to do with those guys, but you're probably starting them in most situations unless you're in a really shallow league, but it's rough sledding right now for the owners of those teams. But yeah, I like Josh Dobbs a lot this week. Yeah. What's your take on this one?
So I actually, I was flirting with Alexander Mattison being my running back start of the week, which is disgusting, but Cam Akers tore his Achilles last week. And now if they have a competent quarterback coming in, that opens up the passing game a lot more, which allows a lot more flexibility as far as, getting your running back into some easier space.
Yeah. Yep.
And but the Saints are not a good matchup for running backs in fantasy. So I decided against it. But yeah, the Saints are, you never really know what you're going to get with the Saints. Like you do, but no one ever really bets on it.
They're like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Right. And it's like
hashtag Forrest Gump.
Taysom Hill has had double-digit touches for 4 straight weeks now, and I don't see that going away. They're grinding out close games and some victories, and so I think Dennis Allen is looking at it, going, "Yep, that's the way we're going to roll."
Yep.
It's almost like when Kamara and Mark Ingram were that 1-2 punch. And it was like, all right, yep, this is the new 1-2 punch. Somehow running a wildcat formation is a part of a 1-2 punch. Didn't think we'd ever be here. Nope. But I am starting Taysom Hill in one of my leagues at the tight end position today. And I feel no shame in doing it, despite what my league mates have to say about it.
I wouldn't care. Then
Chris Olave is rough, and I do think it's a Derek Carr problem because Chris Olave was the wide receiver 25 last year in PPR formats with Andy Dalton,
the top rookie.
Yeah, yes, him and Garrett Wilson and Drake London all had very similar rookie years.
Yep,
all with bad quarterbacks.
Yep,
and so the fact that there's this like chemistry issue between the quarterback and him, like to me that shows it's Derek Carr.
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, looking at Chris Olave's numbers, just real quick, right? He's still getting targets.
Yeah, he is.
He's still getting targets. It's the efficiency with the targets, right?
Yeah. Pull that stat up when you talk.
So Chris Olave, had 8 targets last week, 6 catches, 46 yards on a touchdown. We talked about the lack of touchdowns for him last week, and then he finally got one, and that propelled him from his 9-10 point floor up to 16, which is great. But it was just more of the same outside of that touchdown. It's the 3 to 5 yards per target games is just not good.
Yeah.
I'm looking here in games where he goes above 15 fantasy points, except for last week, his yards per target are 7, 8, 9 plus yards. In games where he goes below that 13-point mark, his yards per target are 5, 3, 2. Like, just push the ball downfield. You know what I mean? You have Slant Boy throwing bricks at people's cars, getting arrested. You have Rashid Shaheed somehow like streaking downfield, being the deep play threat. You have Alvin Kamara, beating people up in elevators on the weekends and then coming out and putting on a performance with 20 receptions. Like the New Orleans team reminds me a lot of the 2007 Florida Gators.
I can see that.
You have just listen to the parallels here, right? You have Taysom Hill, the Mormon religious, run hard, not a good passer, but still takes the snaps.
Right.
You have all this talent around you, but they all get arrested every couple of weeks.
Yep.
Welcome to 2023 New Orleans Saints.
That reminds me of Oakland every year.
Yes. Yes.
So just for some of those numbers for you. So catchable target rate for Chris Olave is 65.9%, which puts him at number 76.
Yeah, that's
and
disgusting.
Then target quality rating 4.59 is number 65.
That's disgusting.
So quality is not there. Efficiency, target accuracy number 78. Yards per out run number 45. That's not too bad. But I mean, if you look at his efficiency numbers, target separation, 31, average cushion, 34, juke rate 16, 21st in drops, only had 2 drops. So Yeah, a lot of the numbers are leaning towards, of course, it being Derek Carr, which it is. It's a Derek Carr issue for sure. It's hard, like we talked about this offseason with Nico Collins being 99th in catchable target and target quality rating as a reason for what we thought he was going to step up. Those things matter because look at last week with Atlanta. They had like 8 throws that were missed uncatchable. Those things take a toll because you look at the final box score, you got 8 targets, but only 5 of them are catchable. Did you really have 8 targets? So it's just it's such a key thing that people overlook that really affects fantasy numbers because it directly correlates with targets and lack of production. So, all right, cool. So let's go ahead and move forward. Texans at Bengals, baby. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to cook on this one. CJ Stroud is that dude. He is him. CJ Stroud is Himothy. Okay. I am going to go out on a limb and say that if Jamar Chase and T. Higgins both don't play, the Texans are winning this game. But, however, I do think Texans have a really good shot to win this game. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, I don't know if we were talking about in the pre-show or on the show, but the Bengals pass defense, pretty bad. It's in the back quarter of the league, back like 10 of the league. I think they were 22nd in one stat, 27th in total. So, yeah, CJ Stroud might have a field day. You have a certain particular person on the Texans that you might want to bring up real quick as your start of the week.
So I actually have a couple.
All right, let's run through those real quick.
First and foremost, I have Tank Dell as my wide receiver 10 on the week. He's in my top 10. Welcome to the top 10, Rook.
Welcome up, Tank. Let's go, Tank.
Tank Dell has surpassed all sorts of expectations that I had for him this year. I think if you go way back when to like March before the draft, we were talking about our pre-draft dynasty wide receiver rookies.
Yep.
And we talked about Tank Dell, but I left him out of my top 10.
Yep.
I also left Jaden Reed out of my top 10 or top 5, whatever it was.
It was size.
Because size. There were so many receivers in this class that were just not that large.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers, Josh Downs, Tank Dell, like Jaden Reed, like all these dudes. And so I left him out. He was a little bit later round pick. I was like, all right, whatever. But he looked good in the preseason, fought his way into consistent snaps, and he has blown up with the likes of CJ Stroud. And I am done hating on him. Nico Collins is out this week. So Tank Dell should eat. But that also means
Schultz too.
Noah Brown.
Yep.
My wide receiver start of the week. Again, I was digging deep in the bag on this one. If he's still out there and you're looking for a last-minute flex, go pick up Noah Brown. Noah Brown has gotten a consistent, 5 or 6 targets over the past 3 games for him. Caught all 6 last week for 153 yards and a touchdown. So, and with the way CJ Stroud is playing, no Nico Collins this week. Noah Brown is going to step into that wide receiver 2 role.
Yep.
And I think he's going to get a good amount of receptions against a Cincinnati pass defense that just is not that good. So, also with the Bengals offense being the Bengals offense, I think that the Texans are going to have to pass the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. No Dameon Pierce again this week. So
wouldn't matter.
It's either do you want your rookie of the year front runner to air it out like he's been doing, which is how you won last week in a tremendous game. Dare I say the best game of the week? Yeah. Or do you want to run with Devin Singletary? No, you don't. So, Noah Brown, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz as well. Fire them all up, and they will pay good dividends.
And then my running back set of the week is the Texans running backs.
Yes, sir.
Because our offensive line run blocking is terrible. We lead the league in contact percentage at the running back position behind the line of scrimmage. So,
nice.
Not a good stat to lead the league in. So, yeah. Speaking of, I was arguing with a Texas fan on Facebook earlier because they're like, should we go after running back in the draft? I'm like, why would you go after running back? It's the offensive line, you clown. They can pass block decently well. It's okay, but CJ Stroud doesn't matter. And with Noah Brown, especially, people may be like, well, Noah Brown's not that good creating separations. CJ Stroud will throw him open, and he has been. So, all right. Question. I have Mark Andrews and Laporte. I was thinking of starting both with putting Laporte in my flex and full PPR. I also have Joe Mixon on the bench because JT and ETN are locked in. I would probably pick I'll probably go Mixon. So with starting both with putting Laporte in my flex, I would probably go Mixon over Laporte in the flex if it were me.
So he also has Tank on his bench. So I think the real question here is, do you start Mixon or do you start Tank instead of Laporta? I think you start either of them over Laporta.
I think Mixon.
Yeah.
Just for what I said earlier, but however, Tank Dell, of course, has that explosive ability to go for 40 points, 30 points again. I think the floor for I think the standard deviation will be higher for Mixon, which I think the more likely scenario, the majority of outcomes that lead to him having more points, there's more of those than there are with Tank, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So, and also with Mixon, he's going to be used a little bit in the pass and run game, and more so than usual in the pass game, probably without T being there and Jamar Chase being banged up, like we mentioned earlier. So I'm rolling Mixon and Mixon in the flex.
Yep, I agree. Sure. By the way, Jamar Chase is officially active this week as of like 20 minutes ago. So
cool. Yep, still not 100%, but
yeah,
I need him out there because I don't have enough of a roster to field a fantasy team this week. So I need him.
Let's go and let's get into our promos, yeah?
Let's do it. All right. And Jackson, what's up, man? Jackson always coming through in the clutch. Good to see you, Jackson. Thank you for stopping in as usual. And we'll go ahead and get into our sponsor right here at, I almost said the voice of college football. Sorry, that's my other channel. Other channel. Here at CheesyCorn Sports, GG's, if my dog would shut up.
I got you. Damn.
Shut up, Gunner. Can you hear the dog? Never mind. Whatever. I don't care. GG Seasoning over at ggseasoning.com. So Senegal and Beyond is a company that my buddy and friend of the show, Matt Berger, owns and operates with his wife, who is from Senegal. She created this seasoning blend. It is an all-purpose seasoning. Use it on anything you'd like. I use it on my ground turkey and my meatballs. So they have increased the sodium, so now I don't have to use salt. I'm a salt lover, though. I am a salt lover. But yeah, it's excellent. I recommend everybody at least give a bottle a try, and you won't be disappointed. So hop over to ggseasoning.com. Use code CheesyCorn at checkout for 10% off.
All right.
And just a real quick housekeeping note too. If you hear and you like the content, please leave a like, share, leave a comment. It does help us out in the algorithms and stuff like that too. YouTube makes us ask for that stuff, or else they won't help us out unless we get them. So appreciate everybody who does that. Lastly, side projects. Like I mentioned just a second ago, I'm over at Nebraska Football at the Voice of College Football. I am the live post game host and content creator over there. So if you're interested in Nebraska football or college football in general, you can slide on over there. And then Chaney, quick little nugget about what's going on at Chain Gang Games.
Yeah, just real quick. Yeah. So make sure you guys go follow Voice College Football in Nebraska. Justin does great work over there. Lots of good stuff going on over there. And it's to the level now where you don't have to be a Nebraska fan. Like, obviously it helps with, the live chats and stuff.
Yeah.
But the interviews, the breakdowns, the news and all that stuff it's fascinating because it encompasses Nebraska as a whole, but also the Big Ten and the college football landscape really as well. just the technical analysis between Justin and some of the people that he interviews, from former Nebraska players to other, content creators surrounding the Husker, football team. It's really top notch. So go ahead and give them a follow.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, shout out.
And if you're into betting too, every week we do Wager Talk Sports comes on, and they'll do so they see that Nebraska Michigan State prediction against the spread on there. No, you're good. That is they bring in we bring in the guy from Wager Talk Sports, and he kind of gives us insight into betting as well. So just for you betting nerds. But
nice.
Chaney, Chain Gang Games.
All right. I need to figure out how to share my screen better.
Yeah, I'm not too savvy with this stuff.
All right. And then over on my side, working on Chain Gang Games, home host, whatever, of the 4th and 1 NCAA college football dynasty show, in which we take 8 custom fictional schools, put them all in the same conference, and let the computer duke it out with each other. There's going to be opportunities later this season for the supporters to get their names on the names of the recruits. They're going to be incoming, and so you can see your namesake really tear it up on the field. And we use an upgraded graphics mod for NCAA 06, which is a little bit more customizable, and it's a lot of fun. So check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all over the place, and give us a like and follow, and let us know what you think down in the comments.
Yep, a lot of good stuff going on there too. Like I said before, just a very good combination of analysis or commentary with a little bit of humor involved, and really like the changes you are making over time. So, and then just kind of like learning as you go. So go check that out too. Yeah, and I want a team in there eventually next season. I want a team in that. I need to wreck shop in there. So, all right, back to the fantasy. Okay, where were we at? And
we are at our good friend of the show, Jackson, dropping in saying, "What is up? What is up, Jackson?"
What's up, Jackson? Appreciate you stopping in as always. Jackson's always over at the Voice College Football 2, hopping in there saying what's up. So find him over at the Jacksonian on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
All right, Texans at Bengals. We talked about this briefly. Well, actually, we went full bore into it, I think. What's your pick in that one?
With Jamar playing, I think I'm still taking Bengals money line, not necessarily -6.
Bengals money line? Yeah, -6 is a little steep. I'm wondering if that had to have been with T out. Man, they are really, really not liking us, huh?
Yeah.
So, all right, yep. So with T Higgins out, still got it -6. I'm taking Houston to cover that. So if you're betting, go with Houston to cover, because actually, don't listen to me. Every time I've told people to bet Houston on this damn podcast, they lose. It's literally been all of our losses. So, all right, moving on. Sorry, I'm trying to tinker with my lineup here. Titans at Buccaneers. You want to take this one away? Why?
Yeah, the Titans are a bad football team.
Yeah,
that's basically about it. Good job on the analysis.
That's all there is to it.
But anyway, no, so let's get into this, right? We'll start here. Rashad White.
Hey,
let's talk about him a little bit, right? I've called him out a couple times as far as my starts of the week. I've also had him as my sit of the week a couple times. Rashad White is the perfect volume-based fantasy player. The efficiency for his run game is not there, but the receiving work that he receives from Baker Mayfield is elite. I believe he's second in receiver or in running back targets, only behind Alvin Kamara on the year. He is he's playing out of his fucking mind, right? And he's just a complete anomaly as far as anything goes. I hope that's Kamara, my bad. With anything, he's the running back 11 on the year. He's got 33 of 34 receptions to targets. He's only been targeted once where it's come out incomplete. Like if they throw his way, he's catching the ball. Super hyper efficient with his targets. And to
super
me,
hyper efficient.
Yeah.
Super duper.
Super duper trooper hyper efficient. All right. And and so with that, the Buccaneers have been playing it's not exciting to watch, but it's not boring. They grind wins out through what works for them. And Baker Mayfield throwing the ball to Rachaad White is what's working. And so that is really what's going on there.
That was the reason they stayed in the Texans game. A big game from him.
I really like Rachaad White this week against Tennessee Titans. But back to the game as a whole, I like the Bucks. Will Levis still kind of a TBD on what really
is he
there for him.
Is he good? Will his girlfriend leave him again?
His girlfriend has already left him.
I thought they were back together.
Were they? I thought she left him for Morgan Wallen, and this was his revenge. Maybe that's why he played good the first week and then played bad the second.
They posted something about her watching the damn game or something while he was in his debut, and they're like,
the damn jealous girlfriend.
It's like now she wants him back.
Yeah. It's like, yay, you're off the bench. So
and back in my heart.
Yeah. I can love you again.
Yay.
But
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Well, hold on now. We're not taking Taylor slander out.
Oh, here. I forgot. You're a Swiftie.
You know what? I'm not even going to deny it. Yeah, I am. I'm not like cult level, a lot of her fan base, but
did you just agree to being a Swiftie?
I am a Swiftie. I was there in March, Glendale. Say what you want. It was a great show. Every single person who didn't think they would enjoy it that ended up getting dragged to it thoroughly enjoyed it. So
you done?
But we're not here to talk about Taylor Swift.
Moving on. All right, sorry. Anyway,
you're good.
All right, moving on to the Titans Buccaneers, which you talked about already a little bit.
Go ahead.
Did you talk about the Titans receivers? I didn't want to cut you off before you got a chance. Receiver.
I will say DeAndre Hopkins is in my top 10 this week.
Yeah.
I think as bad as I think Will Levis is the exact type of quarterback that DeAndre Hopkins needs to succeed as a Titan. And we've already seen a little flash of it, 1 week, and then he is really the only receiving option they have, honestly. Yep. And so I think Will Levis is going to have to start hyper targeting him. If I was a rookie quarterback that didn't know what the fuck I was doing, I'd be hyper targeting DeAndre Hopkins. I love that comment, Corey. I love it.
I think it's.
By the way, Justin, that's a Taylor Swift reference.
Oh, I didn't know that. I got to be able to read this. I don't even know what these buttons all do. Let's go. All right, sorry.
Anyway,
get out of here, Corey.
Yeah, I think D-Hop is a top 10 receiver this week, but they still fall short. Bucks cover. It's minus 2.5, and they take this one.
Yeah, I don't quite have D-Hop in my top 10. I want to see Levis, a little more, maybe another week or so, and see how D-Hop does this week before I start sliding him potentially in there. But however, it's also due to a lot of bye weeks and stuff too. But D-Hop is still around the 18 range for me. But yeah, definitely potential because he's slid up since, and if continues to perform well and Levis continues to show that he's efficient and can produce some fantasy points, then by all means to slide him up. So I don't fault you for having your top 10 at all. I think that's very there's a high potential that could happen because, like you said, it's the only guy he's got there.
Yep.
The Bucks, they got a lot of offense to go around, but Mike Evans, scary hours for Mike Evans last week until a couple of big catches. Overall, yeah, that team needs Rachaad White as much as possible because not only did he score those couple touchdowns, but there was moments where he would break runs and the most opportune times, or he would be the check down for a long third down, 3rd and 16, I think it was, and actually picked it up. They were just kind of doing a quick little check down to him, and he actually picked it up. So Rachaad White is very important to that offense. Is the only reason they were in the game last week. So yeah, I'm right there with you, Rachaad White. It is going to be interesting to see though if they consistently use him like that, or because he has tended to be a little volatile in the past. So I don't want to get too high on him, just see how kind of consistent he can be, but it seems like they're inching that way to using him a lot. So all right, let's get into your lock of the week. Lions at Chargers.
Yes, sir. I think we've all seen enough this year to determine that the Chargers are not worth the hype that they received coming into the year yet again. This is literally a tale as old as time, right? Mike Williams starts off great, gets hurt, out for the year. Keenan Allen, doing what he can. Justin Herbert makes a bunch of good highlight throws.
Yep.
And then Eckler has a couple games here where it's 2-3 touchdowns, and then but at the same time there's still no wins to correlate. It's the most upside down, topsy-turvy type thing. This offense can be as good as anyone else, but at the same time, they just don't win.
Yep.
And it comes to coaching. It comes to a lot of defense discipline. It seems like every single time Derwin James makes contact with someone, he gets a flag thrown on him for unnecessary roughness. And I'm not here to argue if it is unnecessary roughness or not. It just, the fact of the matter is they throw the flag when he makes contact.
He needs to stop being unnecessarily rough. Yeah. I think that's what they're trying to say.
I mean, there's some that I agree with, and then there's others that I kind of tilt my head. But it's kind of like Draymond Green in the NBA, right? The minute he says something over a certain decibel, they just immediately tee him up and throw him out.
Chaney's getting fined for insulting the officials. $25,000.
Bill me.
YouTube, take it out of his pay.
Yeah, send it to collections. I ain't paying that.
$5K. Be tough to recover from that one.
But sorry. With that being said, this Chargers defense is abysmal, specifically pass defense. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have a tremendous week. He's my wide receiver 1 this week. I think he's going to have 10 plus targets. He's going to have 100 plus yards. He's going to have 8 plus catches. He's going to have a touchdown.
And a birthday party.
And he's going for at least 24, 25 points this week. It's just and you can't, that's not a game that you're going to lose.
No, I think I'm with you on that. Yeah, that's pretty high likelihood right there that he's going to pop off for sure. I'm with you. I like the Lions in this one. Chargers, great for offensive fantasy points because their defense is terrible. So they're always playing either punch back or catch up. So yeah, I really like this game as far as fantasy goes. The only thing about the Chargers that I'm still unsure of is QJ, but outside of that, Keenan Allen is locked and loaded. My wide receiver, I think 2 or 3. So yeah, I mean, not much else to talk about. Your Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to start. You got your usual suspects. I don't really think there's anybody on the fence outside of QJ, and I'm probably not starting QJ.
No, Jared Goff is a tremendous start this week, by the way.
He is great. Yeah, great start. I think I have him at QB3.
I have him at 6. So yeah,
Good start. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and move up to Falcons at Cardinals. Oh, geez, why did we move to this one? We probably could have left this one out.
I'm hoping if I stay still enough that you'll think that my screen froze and I don't have to talk about this game.
All right. Well, here, maybe you'll want to talk about this. So we'll put this here for you.
Oh, God.
Take it away.
All right, hold on. I got something for you.
I didn't know if I spelled Arthur right because it looks funky.
It doesn't matter. He's irrelevant.
Uh-oh.
All right. Using the link that I just dropped in the chat down below, that is a petition. Go ahead and sign it. Get Arthur Smith fired as the Falcons head coach.
All right.
Yep,
you
right
heard
there.
it right here. Arthur Smith. Change.it.
Send it. Full send.
There's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Everybody. Hashtag free Bijan.
Free Bijan, free Kyle Pitts, free Drake London, free ATL.
Free Atlanta, yeah.
That's basically where we're at with it.
Yeah.
Free them from the restaurant scenario that they have going on down there. Free them from the sports teams that they have. I mean, yeah. When was the last Atlanta championship?
Definitely not when they played the Patriots. The Braves.
Was it the Braves? What was that?
2021.
2021? Okay.
Dodgers,
okay, so that's not that bad. But before that, yeah.
Hold on.
Get this Arthur Smith.
Back in Arthur Smith.
Yeah, you get this Arthur Smith baloney out of my face.
No,
I deleted it.
No, I was doing something. All right, whatever. Anyways, take it away.
Anyway, moving on here. Falcons and Cardinals. Falcons 2.5-point favorites. Ew. All right, lock in. Kyler Murray's my start of the week. Quarterback, we talked about it earlier. Calling my shot every week, actually.
That's what I was typing when you deleted the whole card, and I was almost done typing. I'm like, where the hell did it go?
Kyler Murray coming back.
I'll find it for you. I'll pull it back up for you.
I think Kyler Murray, does just. I think Kyler Murray does enough. You talked about Kyler Murray's game earlier, where it's a lot of the protection breaks down. He has to make something with his feet, type thing, and I think that's what happens here. But at the same time, I don't think Atlanta's good enough to counter it on defense. And Kyler is he's gonna get you your 10, 20-yard scrambles. And that is going to pad his fantasy stats a lot. Do I think Kyler is a good quarterback in the NFL? No. Do I think he's a good fantasy quarterback? Before his injury last year, yeah, he was. And so it's, yeah, you take the good with the bad. And
a lot of bad.
I'm just saying, he was a top 10 quarterback every single year in PPR formats from 2019 to 2021. So 2019, 2020, and 2021. And then, he was on track for kind of the same thing before he got hurt last year.
Yep.
But, I mean, it all comes down to the rushing ability for him.
It'd be interesting to see how this plays out for Trey McBride, too. Just something to monitor how Trey McBride's how it looks with Kyler Murray, quarterback for Trey McBride.
You mean that? Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm calling my shot.
Crazy,
again.
Murray,
look, if I'm calling my shot on the quarterback, I have to call my shot on the tight end as well.
I can't believe we're putting Kyler Murray in as our start of the week, bro.
And it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
How have we come this? How have we slipped this far? we really can't find QBs to start, huh?
Fresh off his 1-week suspension, here we
go.
Chris Owen. This is actually the man that I blame for how we slipped this far after the Cam Akers sit of the week comment of his.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Chaney banned Chris, who is longtime viewer of the show. He banned him.
Do it again.
That is how he treats people on the show. So make sure when you subscribe, you leave a comment and say Team Justin. I'm like Team Edward from Twilight. Well, I don't even know the other one, but Team Justin, hashtag Team Justin, because Justin doesn't unnecessarily ban people. So good
First
friend.
of all, it was completely necessary. And 2, he earned that ban.
I don't know if you even believe that, because you thought you put him in a timeout. You didn't know you banned him.
I thought I muted him, but
yeah, he's getting crumped up on some BS charges. Not like a Deshaun Watson type of BS charge where they just don't indict him, but a Chris type of BS charges where he was, exonerated completely.
Mm-hmm. I was being harassed weekly by him, and
I'm Karen.
and he threatened me. He put death threats in my DMs, and he deserved it. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Talk to us a little about your take on the Falcons Cardinals.
I hate this game.
Yes.
That's it. No, I'm fine.
All right, moving on.
Falcons. I actually kind of like Drake London this week. Like Pitts this week. I don't like Kyler Murray. I am not putting him as my start of the week. I would put that man nowhere near my starting lineup, although Chaney does know how I feel about Kyler Murray. But it's because I said Kyler Murray's trash since he came to the league. And yeah. So I just don't like him. And I don't think he's that good. But Trey McBride, you're starting probably. Hollywood Brown, very dependent on your situation. Deeper league start, stuff like that. But I think it's really hard to trust anybody in the Cardinals offense right now, in my opinion, until we see what Kyler's able to do. And with you, I think I know what you're doing because it's an upside play, right? Like he's going to come in there and he's going to, whether he can throw or not, he is always going to scramble around and run. That's just the way he operates. So those built-in potential rushing touchdowns, those built-in potential, 80 rushing yards he might get just off of scrambles, that being a dual threat quarterback is a game changer in fantasy. So those running stats are more important than the throwing stats a lot of the time. So Team Martin or Justin, Team Justin. All right. So that's settled. Cool. All right. Don't ban him again.
He's on the highway.
All right. Here you go, Chaney. You got your start of the week and one of your own players.
Yes, sir. Okay. So I'm sure as soon as I bring this up, he's going to be like, okay, so to sit him, got it. Yeah. Just because I know how he operates here. Noah Brown, wide receiver start of the week. Nico Collins out, CJ Stroud balling. It's going to be the Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, and Noah Brown show today against a bad Cincinnati pass defense.
Very bad.
Yes.
Very, very bad. I think they were 22nd, and then you said they dropped down to 27th. So
yeah, let me look it up. I wasn't looking at the fantasy stats. It was more just like actual like NFL team stats.
22nd, but I think that was last week. On this one, I'm probably going with Noah Brown as well. Well, let me see. Noah Brown, you said he already dropped him before you said that. He must have checked back in the show earlier. He saw that you said to start him.
He must have.
And then he dropped him. So I'm probably going to go with I don't want to say Sutton. I don't like Dobbs, though. I don't like Romeo Dobbs. Am I going to go with him too? Maybe. Yeah, I think I am.
Yeah.
I think I might go with I think I'm going to go with Sutton. I'll go with Sutton. All right. I'm going to try to not be biased. I'm going to go with Sutton because I was really starting to lean Noah Brown's direction, but I think I want to go with Sutton.
All right. He's got another question for us. Jalen Warren, Gabe Davis, or Cortland Sutton?
Different league. Warren, Gabe Davis. Ooh. So I have Najee Harris as my running back start of the week, so I'm probably not going Jalen Warren. Gabe Davis or Sutton, probably Sutton again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it seems like every time you start Gabe Davis, he goes for 2 points.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then when you bench him, he'll go for 40.
It was like this last year too.
Yep. That's just Gabe Davis.
Without fail.
Really?
Yeah, without fail. So that's why I'm like scorned by Gabe Davis. Like,
yeah,
I just I don't think I've started him once this year in the league that I do have him in.
Yep.
Just because of that reason.
Yeah, I'm probably rolling Cortland Sutton.
Cool. That means you should start Gabe Davis.
Basically.
This is the week well, not because of the normal thing with you and him, just the thing that we're all saying he should be benched, so he's probably going to go off. Hey, that's right. Real recognize real, you know.
I know I'm not, imagining this, but and that ban button gets larger and larger every comment he drops.
I'll save you. Don't worry. I'll ban Chaney from the channel. Just block his access.
Just change the passwords.
Corey's got to pick a side, but I'm kind of screwed about Corey, so Giants at Cowboys 17.5. God damn, dude.
It's a college football spread, man.
Is that a real spread?
It was this morning as per Caesar Sportsbook.
Wow, dude. No way I'm betting 17.5 unless it's to cover in the NFL. Civil War.
And then you look at the team and you're like, oh.
Yeah, but then we got like the Cowboys who can't decide who they want to be week to week. Do they want to be world beaters or do they want to be the Commanders, you know?
Well, I'll put it this way. The Cowboys love to beat up on bad teams and then choke against good teams.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is my wide receiver 1, I think, actually.
He is I can find it here.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb's my wide receiver 1.
CeeDee Lamb is my wide receiver 4. So, yeah.
Starting him. You're starting him, basically.
Well, I was starting him even if he was outside of my top 10.
So, all right, guys. So, just expert analysis here. You are starting CeeDee Lamb this week. Hey,
my receiver start of the week, CeeDee Lamb.
It's because you're going to need him a lot to cover that 17.5 point spread there.
Yeah. By the way, I do just want to say this. Caesar Sportsbook, whoever brought this idea up, you guys did it right. They currently have a boost for Kyler Murray over 20-plus rushing yards and a rushing touchdown, and they're calling it the Call of Kyler boost. I just wanted to bring out the Call of Duty reference.
Hold on. Call of Kyler. So
Call of Kyler boost.
EOK. So it's cock.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's not the right button. Damn it. I missed my little button. My shit reset on me. God dang it. That was a perfect opportunity. Go back to that one. All right. Ayuk, Olave, Deontay Johnson. I like Ayuk this week a lot. So Ayuk it is.
I think it's Ayuk. Yeah.
Because no, he's not my start of the week. But he's in my top 10. I got Brandon Ayuk as my wide receiver 8. I didn't put my number 9 in there. Whoops.
Guess it means Tank Dell.
Mystery number 9. Yeah, Tank Dell. Noah Brown's 9 now. Just throw him in there. All right. Anyways, Cowboys. Let's see. Pick one. So who'd you pick? You said Ayuk?
Yeah, I picked Ayuk. There's too
many. Go in that order: Ayuk, Olave, and then Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, there's too many problems going on between Derek Carr and Chris Olave.
Yeah,
for me to you're not going to get the ceiling of Chris Olave. You're going to get it, at most 15, 16 points.
Olave was my sit of the week last week, so I tried to tell y'all.
Yeah,
to bench the man. Okay. Let me make sure we're caught up in comments. Call of Kyler's Warzone theme. Some extra steps. Bro, he's too worried about playing damn Call of Duty than he is taking care of his damn body. And
I absolutely love the irony that the latest Call of Duty dropped the same weekend that Kyler makes his return to the NFL.
Dude, I feel like they do this shit on purpose at this point. I feel like there's always some coincidence with him and Call of Duty, bro.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's not. After a while, it stops becoming a coincidence.
Yeah, he just needs to invest in some growth hormone and try to put some extra weight on and some height. This just in, Chaney said, Nico Collins.
Are we at least seeing
Boom,
where
baby.
the ban came from?
Nope.
Like,
What the fuck was that? Sorry.
the abuse is just ridiculous.
Is it?
Yes,
Is it, Chaney?
it is.
I don't think it is. I think when you ban somebody for that long, kind of warranted. That's just me, though.
Well, this was going on before the ban. So,
Giants and Cowboys. 17.5 point spread, guys. Am I right? 17 and a fucking half. Yeah, there's not much to talk about in this one. Let's be honest.
Really not.
No, Cowboys probably going to lose because they're 17.5 point favorites, but
there's no players involved in this game where it's like
on the hoods. You're starting Pollard,
right.
You're starting CeeDee Lamb, you're starting Dak.
Yeah.
The Giants are the only ones you're on the fence about, but like if you're
starting Saquon because it's Saquon.
Yeah, and then you can maybe flex Wandale or Slayton, but that's it.
Maybe
in a deep league, but
yeah,
that's a situation I'm in. That's a tough spot to be in. Commanders at Seahawks, Mr. Cheese's underdog of the week.
Yeah.
Why?
Samuel Howell, as you said last week, Samuel L. Howell, right?
Sir Samuel Howell.
Yeah. Himmy Howell, as I'm calling him.
Timothy Howell.
Dude, he's playing out of his mind, at least for fantasy. Sam Howell each week he gets more comfortable. And the Seahawks are kind of in a downward spiral right now. Not a lot of people are seeing it, but that game against Baltimore was embarrassing.
Yep.
Like, I would have been embarrassed to have been a Seahawks fan.
Yep.
If I was a Seahawks fan, but I'm not because,
you're a Packers fan and you're just embarrassed to be. I feel like you'd be better off being a Seahawks
just this year.
Just this year?
Just this year.
We'll see.
Yeah. I've been spoiled for the first almost 30 years of my life with
I haven't.
More often than not pretty good success.
I haven't. My team's been around since 2002, and
I was gonna say you haven't even had 30 full years of Texans football.
Best quarterback in our history is Matt Schaub. We thought we had our franchise QB, but he turned out to be addicted to massage tables and happy ending.
I don't know. Something about calling Deshaun the victim here doesn't really sit right.
No, he's definitely not the victim. But we are in good hands now with CJ Stroud. But yeah, it's rough being a Packers fan, but and rough being a Seahawks fan. But I think they're better off than you are right now. So that's unfortunate. Sorry. It's rough times out here. The Seahawks fans are in better shape than you are.
Nothing I can do about it.
Do you got the Commanders to win outright?
I do.
Cover?
I think the Commanders are going to win outright.
So money line, got it. You would think Watson Kraft would be home. I'm pretty sure they are. That's probably how Watson was able to get off. Kraft threw a little bit of money that way. He's like, maybe you can make a stop over here, in New England whenever you're ready.
Yes.
Little hush money for him.
Let's go and let's clip that. Robert Kraft is the reason that Deshaun Watson got off.
Expansion franchise unite. Let's get into the young Bryce Young, CJ Stroud.
Yes, let's do it. Let's talk about how poverty the Carolina Panthers are from start to fucking finish.
Because here's what I'm getting from Panthers fans. Like, okay, they post the pictures of the Stroud.
That's what you're getting tears from Panthers fans.
Yeah, exactly. They post this side by side of CJ Stroud stats and Bryce Young stats, and all the Panthers fans are like, "Well, look at our receiver core. Look at our running backs. Look, the Panthers' running game is ranked ahead of the Texans." Okay. The Texans remember when everybody in the offseason was like, they're going to be the first or second overall pick and all this. And now all of a sudden, like, they're talking about CJ Stroud has all these weapons named Noah Brown, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. But like, they got Thielen over there and they're like, no, like, just the Texans are just better than us. And it's like, you blamed Matt Rule last year, right? Okay. When are you going to start? Yeah, exactly. I think it's hard for them to accept the fact that they got hosed in that draft. And I'm pretty sure it was the Texans that leaked all that. Remember all that bad stuff coming out about CJ Stroud before? I really think the Texans might have leaked that just to make sure that the Panthers went, God, Bryce Young. That was the word on the street back then, and I firmly believe that they may have been the ones leaking the bad stuff on Stroud. But yeah, it's funny to me how all of a sudden the Panthers talk about all these weapons they have. What's your take on it?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Let's just address the elephant in the room as to why. Do not dare bring him on this show until I have said what I need to say. I do not want him interrupting me.
All right, 1 second. We missed this gem from Corey, so I had to spotlight it before I let you go off.
Damn.
All right, go off.
The Carolina Panthers, right? They don't want to win. I'm convinced they don't want to win. Jake Delhomme brought them, rose from there were no ashes because they hadn't burned at that point. And then they fell, and they had about 10 years, 8 to 10 years of bad. First overall pick draft or 1 year, whatever the fuck year it was, drafted Jimmy Clausen. Shout out Jimmy Clausen. What a draft pick that was. Started him, got the first overall pick, said, "Now we're going to take Cam Newton instead." Cam Newton, it looked like they had a guy. It looked like they had a guy with Kelvin Benjamin and Greg Olsen and whatever else fucking why can I not think of the guy's name? Receiver. He went to Green Bay for a year.
I don't know when we're talking about. You should know if he went to Green Bay for a year.
Well, so he signed with Green Bay, and then COVID happened, and he was one of the players that opted out for the COVID year, so he never actually played for Green Bay.
Okay.
What the fuck was his name?
I'm trying to
I don't
think.
remember his name. Doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. But him and Kelvin Benjamin were apparently the 1 and 2. And, they got all the way up to the Super Bowl. And then Cam Newton didn't jump on a fumble, and the rest is history. And within a couple of years, Cam Newton decided that he forgot how to throw a football accurately. He had a lot of foot and shoulder issues. And
Bryce Young, pregame warmups.
But anyway,
I'm just gonna leave this here while you talk.
There was a weird Kyle Allen couple wins here and there. There was a lot of weird names. Fans were getting drunk at the stadium. They were getting thrown out of the stadium because they couldn't bear to see their hometown team lose.
Yep.
Luke Kuechly said, "I cannot lose anymore. I quit." Luke Kuechly decided to quit on the franchise. Luke Kuechly walked so Andrew Luck could run. And then the Panthers said, "You know what? Luke has a great idea. Let's get rid of Cam Newton, and then we'll bring him back for 2 games, make everyone believe that he's back to form, and then he'll be just as bad, if not worse, than he was before. Yep. Then we're going to trade Christian McCaffrey for picks, but not get a single first rounder."
And then they refused to trade Brandon Burns for picks.
Brian Burns, yes.
Brian Burns.
We're going to trade Christian McCaffrey, but we're not going to trade Brian Burns because Brian Burns
for a plethora of
there's
picks.
Something about Brian Burns that Christian McCaffrey just doesn't have. You know what I mean? And then they're going to trade for Sam Darnold and sign Baker Mayfield all within 18 months. Both guys gone. Then they're going to sign XFL Houston Roughneck legend
PJ
Walker.
What's up, PJ Walker? Yeah. Undefeated in the XFL, baby.
And then they decided, you know what? Let's get aggressive in this draft. We're up to this upcoming offseason. Let's get aggressive. We're going to trade the 8th overall pick, and next year's first-round pick, and DJ Moore to the Chicago Bears for the first overall pick. And who do they take? Who do they take with the first overall pick? They took Bryce fucking Young, a guy who is a slower Walmart brand of Kyler Murray. And that is not saying much to begin with. Consistently gets balls batted down at the line. Offensive line is bad enough he can't escape the pocket. And then you know what? You know what was going to be the savior? You know what the savior of this season was going to be? 33-year-old Adam Thielen.
And getting rid of Matt Rule because he was.
And getting rid of Matt Rule, who is now in 1.5 year already matched Nebraska's victory total from a season ago.
Beat it
my bad.
Yeah. Beat it.
So with all that in mind, I'm convinced Carolina doesn't want to win.
Nope.
Carolina loves the little niche of people feeling bad for their franchise that they're in, and I'm done feeling. I don't feel bad for them anymore. So, but anyway,
that's it for your Bryce Young Bryce Young spot.
Carolina Panthers spot more so than Bryce Young. But let's go and let's bring on good buddy of the show, Chris Owen, the abuser himself. How are you doing today, Chris?
I thought you would never shut up. A few things. I find it funny that now that the Packers haven't fallen into 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, that they're now exposed as the poverty franchise they always were. Dog shit, you know. But a few corrections on Chaney's little fucking stupid rant that he just did. Kelvin Benjamin tore his ACL the year we went to the Super Bowl, so he was not on the field. Ted Ginn was the wide receiver with just a plethora of disgustingness that would always drop every fucking pass that was thrown their way. But other than that, I agree with Justin's stance that the Panthers are allergic to winning.
I actually wrote that.
I agree with Justin. I think we're on the same page with this. So I believe that David Tepper, that ogre, is doing everything he can to sabotage the franchise so they can move it to a different location. And I'm starting to just kind of lose it. I might become a Texans fan after that happens. We just haven't had a back-to-back winning season. You know, we've been to 2 Super Bowls, haven't won any.
Participation trophies are fun.
Yeah, participation trophies, a bunch of NFC championships.
Shit, I ain't got none of that. I ain't got AFC championship.
The Texans couldn't even get past the first round. But
actually, we did. A couple times.
Oh yeah, I am so excited though that Chaney will know my pain for the next 20 years because the Packers are never recovering after Aaron Rodgers. Never. In
the words of Taylor Swift, they're never, ever, ever recovering and getting back together. So there's your Taylor
I am Swift. Not a part of the Bryce Young fan club, by the way.
No, you're the president.
Yeah, you're the president. You're not a part of it.
He's a midget.
You are it.
He's a midget that I was hopeful for, but had no real expectations about. CJ Stroud was clearly the pick to get, but what do I know? I'm only just watching him destroy every fucking defense he plays against.
Yeah. Here we go. How's this one?
Oh God.
Oh no. Oh no!
Oh, my bad. Am I sharing my screen? I'm sorry.
I don't think it'll let me. It keeps saying 50 characters, but I don't think it'll let me use the word midget. I think that's really what it's trying to say because it's deleting letters, and that's what. So the word midget's not a B.
I love that Chaney just tried to show off the Packers losing record to throw it in my face. Just it's beautiful.
It's funny that Chris brought up, like the Packers, are never going to recover. He has zero statistical analysis to back that up.
They won't though, so it's fine.
Green Bay has had top 5 picks in the past.
I can't fit it.
In which they then won a Super Bowl within 5-6 years of that top 5 pick. Aaron Rodgers went 6-10. His first year as a starter. And let's see what else. 2 years prior to Brett Favre's last NFC Championship appearance, where he decided to throw a game-losing interception. Let's see.
How's it a game-losing interception, Chaney?
What's that?
How's it a game-losing interception?
They went to overtime against the Giants, and he threw an interception, and they went down and kicked field goal.
So it's a game-losing field goal.
Game-losing field goal. That's what I was. Yep, I agree. Yeah.
Yes, Owen, you're very well versed on game-losing plays. I'm aware. I'm sorry.
I'm the expert of game-losing plays. Being a Nebraska fan, dude.
Sorry, I'm not used to losing like some of other people in this.
You lost in the last second field goal yesterday.
Yeah.
How long have the Packers been a franchise? When were they made?
Over 100 years. I don't know.
100 years and 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
2% winning.
Yeah. Literally have the Super Bowl trophy named after them. So, or after their coach. So,
well, that's just because y'all are old.
Yeah, literally.
It'll be renamed to the
John Wayne is named after a fucking airport, or vice versa.
Well, Chris, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this here, okay? If we're taking the entire 100+ years of Green Bay history, there's about 30 to 40 years of that history that the Super Bowl wasn't even a Super Bowl. It was an NFL championship. We can bring up those numbers if you want, which is a hell of a lot more than 4.
The reason Chaney knows this stuff is because he's had to make this argument a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I like to call it knowing my team.
Actually, it was the American Football League first, and then it was the American Western Football League.
No one cares about all those white people running around with a football, okay?
It's racist. Little leather helmets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking John Krasinski and George Clooney and Leatherheads just fucking running around and tossing a little ball to each other.
Back then, Jordy Nelson would have been a top 10 all-time receiver.
Yeah. He'd been the Jerry Rice of his
generation. Full circle.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
He'd be the only guy with a helmet, though.
It's having a pasta contest without Italy. I get it. It's quite literally the same thing I was talking about earlier in the show with Jordy Nelson. So,
Weeky Packers, baby.
The Packers established their franchise in 2009.
God damn right. Founded in 1920. 103 years, by the way.
Poor Chaney's getting roasted at the end of the show.
Wait. How many years?
103.
No.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah. That's all right, Chaney.
Championships.
13 NFL championships, by the way.
2.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowls. Got it.
4 Super Bowls.
Dude, that's like
4 Super Bowl victories.
That's like college football teams claiming 27 when they happened in 1910, 1912.
Yeah. In 1867, we won the
fans everywhere trying to bring out their their hardware.
All right, we got 10 minutes to the show wraps, so just to give everybody a heads up. But
I won't interrupt any longer.
No, you're fine. We got a question coming up.
Please stop being an inconvenience to my day.
We need to get you off the phone. Kyler or T Law, Ferguson or McBride will PPR. Just worry about Ferguson being in a blowout game and the Cowboys running the ball a ton. So me personally, I'm a Ferguson guy. I mean, Ferguson was my guy coming into the season, so I'm a little biased because I like Ferguson. But me personally, I would go Ferguson. but I can see McBride because I do think Kyler in his first game back might, lean on him a pretty good bit. So I'm going to go Ferguson, but I will admit bias there. And then Kyler T-Law, I'm going Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I have Kyler and Trey McBride both as my starts of the week for their respective positions. So I'm gonna stick with my guns on that one.
I flirted with McBride in my top 10 tight ends. So if you start him, I don't blame you one bit.
Sure. I don't hate starting Jake Ferguson though.
The thing about Ferguson is they're probably going to use him to get to that blowout.
Sure. My biggest thing is Trevor Lawrence is playing the San Francisco 49ers today. So if that defense does return to form like they should, it could be a rough fantasy day for Trevor Lawrence. I'm almost concerned that in order to win that game, they're going to have to do things that don't necessarily equate to fantasy points, which is control the ball, control the clock, keep the ball out of the hands of 49ers, and that's going to be a lot of groundwork.
But regardless, like even if they do lose by a lot, they're going to be throwing the ball a ton, get those garbage time points. But I think, But I see your point. But yeah, Ferguson, he's had the first touchdown the last 2 weeks or something like that. And he's being utilized more and more. But yeah, I if it does end up blowout, I see that, but they'll use him to get there too. So I'm not faulting you if you go McBride. I will fault you if you go Kyler though. But no, I appreciate the question. Blurby, appreciate the question, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else? Chris, what was your take on that one, by the way?
Well, I mean, we all know my thoughts on Chaney's picks, but if I'm being honest, Kyler Murray is a huge question mark to me. I mean, what was the last time he played football? Like well over a year ago. And I'm not doing this to knock Chaney. I'm actually trying to be
like three Call of Duty championships ago.
Was it week 12 of last year, I think?
Yeah, I think so. It's always nice having a little midget running back that can, get you a bunch of chunk yards.
We have the expert of midgets here.
Yeah, we do. But Kyler Murray's a better midget than Bryce Young because he's a lot faster. It's tough because Trevor Lawrence, their game script. I think 49ers are going to be up big fast, and he's going to have to haul the ball down the field. And I don't know if you guys noticed, the Niners secondary has not been playing well. They've not been stopping a lot. They have it. Like I just don't know what. I don't know what the change is going to be now that Chase Young is there. Are they going to actually pressure the QB more now? Like, are they going to change how they've been blitzing? Because they haven't rushed the QB a lot this year, and it could benefit Trevor Lawrence if they just keep the same game plan, even with Chase Young going on.
Yeah.
So if gun to head, I would go with the person who's been playing football, Trevor Lawrence. But I understand the Kyler Murray take. And then I would go with McBride because my worry with the Dallas Cowboys is that if they're up by if they're up by like 35 points by the half, you're not going to see your starters. You're not going to see the starters out there for much longer, and it's just going to tank your fantasy score.
My thing is just like if they get up by 35, they're using Ferguson a lot to get up by 35.
Maybe or CeeDee's going to have another 200 yards and nonsense.
Both can be true because both have kind of true. It's just but no, I don't disagree. I'm just giving my Ferguson take is just just the usage in the red zone, especially, and just the majority of the way they've been using him in more creative ways. But yeah, I don't blame you at all for McBride again. I flirted with McBride in my top 10. So all right. Well, I appreciate your help on that one. We got about 5 minutes till we wrap it up, Chris. So we're probably going to boot you from the stream, but not from the channel this time.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Well, hey, thanks, guys. I always love the podcast. You guys are great. Great analysis. Hey, Corey, trade me Derrick Henry. All right, bye.
Later, man. Appreciate calling in. All right, boys. Well, Chaney, is there anything else from you? We're going to wrap this up probably.
No, I think that we had a great show. Yep. Shout out to our editor / producer Corey. All the different aesthetic changes with the background and stuff. Looks absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
Starting this next Friday, we're going to be getting into our actual CheesyCorn Sports podcast episode on Friday, and then Sunday Fantasy Start and Sit live, brought to you by CheesyCorn Sports. So look out for that. We'll be doing a lot more, little fun segments and stuff. Really, just kind of hanging out, talking ball, NFL, college, betting.
Maybe play some Immaculate Grid.
Yeah, exactly. Doing a bunch of just hanging out, really. So make sure you guys drop in, say what's up.
Drop in, call in, bring your questions, bring your topics. We are willing to touch on whatever you want to touch on. So, and then we'll have our own stuff. So,
yes, sir.
All right. Well, like he said, stay tuned for that. Shout out to our producer, and welcome to the first installment of OnlyFantasy presented by CheesyCorn Sports. Tune in for episode 2 next week, and then CheesyCorn Sports Fridays on this coming Friday. So, all right. That will take us out of here. Y'all enjoy the games. Enjoy the rest of y'all's Sundays. And again, happy Veterans Day to those that served. Appreciate everybody and all of our veteran friends that join us every week. So with that being said, we are going to sign off. So we'll see y'all on Friday. Peace.